Matthew chapter 6, we continue the speech of speeches, the Beatitudes. Jesus continues with, the world is not a stage. So be especially careful when you're trying to be good, so you don't make a performance out of it. It might be good theater, but the God who made you won't be applauded. But when you do something for someone else, don't call attention to yourself. You've seen them in action, I'm sure. Play actors, I call them. Treating prayer meetings and street corners like a stage. Acting compassionate as long as someone is watching. Praying to the crowd. They get the applause, true, but that's all they get. When you help someone out, don't think about how it looks. Just do it quietly and unobtrusively. That is the way your God, who conceived you in love, working behind the scenes, helps you out. And when you come before God, don't turn it into a theatrical production. All these people making a regular show out of their prayers, hoping for 15 minutes of fame. Do you think God sits in a box seat? Here's what I want you to do. Find a quiet, secluded place, so you won't be tempted to roleplay before God. Just be there, as simply and honestly as you can manage. The focus will shift from you to God, and you will be able to sense His grace. Jesus continues in Matthew chapter 6, verse 7, on his topic of prayer. Praying with simplicity. The world is full of so-called prayer warriors who are prayer ignorant. They're full of formulas and programs and advice and peddling techniques for getting what you want from God. Don't fall for this nonsense. This is your Father you're dealing with, and He knows better than you what you need. With a God like this, loving you, you can pray simply. Our Father in heaven, reveal who you are. Set the world right. Do what's best, as above, so below. Keep us alive with 3 square meals, and keep us forgiven with you and forgiving others. Keep us safe from ourselves and from the devil. You're in charge. You can do anything you want, 'cause you're a blazing beauty. Yes, yes, yes! In prayer, there is a connection between what God does and what you do. You can't get forgiveness from God, for instance, without also forgiving others. If you refuse to do your part, you cut yourself off from God's part. When you practice some appetite-denying discipline to better concentrate on God, don't make a production out of it. It might turn you into a small-time celebrity, but it won't make you a saint. If you go into training inwardly, act normal outwardly. Shampoo and comb your hair. Brush your teeth. Wash your face. God doesn't require attention-getting devices. He won't overlook what you are doing. He'll reward you well. Don't hoard treasure down here. This is where it gets eaten by moths and corroded by rust, or worse, stolen by burglars. Stockpile treasure in heaven, up there, where it's safe from the moth, safe from rust and the burglars. It's obvious, isn't it? The place where you treasure is the place where you most want to be and end up being. And I've said this before, if you open your eyes wide in wonder and belief, your body fills up with light. If you live squinty-eyed in greed and distrust, your body is a musty cellar. If you pull the blinds on your windows, what a dark life you will have. If you decide for God, living a life of God worship, it follows that you don't fuss about what's on the table at mealtimes, or whether the clothes in your closet are in fashion. There's far more to your life than the food that you put in your stomach. More to your outer appearance than the clothes you hang on your body. Look at the birds, free and unfettered, not tapped down to a job description, careless in the care of God. And you count more to Him than the birds. You cannot serve 2 masters. Jesus says in Matthew 6, verse 24, you cannot worship 2 gods at once. Loving one God, you'll end up hating the other. Adoration of one feeds contempt for the other. You cannot worship God and money both. Has anyone, by fussing in front of a mirror, ever gotten taller by so much as an inch? All this time and money wasted on fashion. Do you think it makes that much of a difference? Instead of looking at the fashions, walk out into the fields and look at the wildflowers. They never primp or shop, but have you ever seen color and design quite like it? The 10 best dressed men and women in the country look shabby alongside them. If God gives such attention to appearances of the wildflowers, most of which you're never ever seen, don't you think he'll attend to you? Take pride in you? Do his best for you? What I'm trying to do here is get you to relax, to not be preoccupied with getting, so you can respond to God's giving. People who don't know God and the way he works fuss over these things, but you know both God and how he works. Steep your life in God reality, God initiative, God provisions. Don't worry about missing out. You'll find all your everyday human concerns will be met. Give your entire attention to what God is doing right now. And don't get worked up about what may or may not happen tomorrow. Or another way of putting it, I always love the NIV version. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough troubles of its own. So, that is Matthew 6, and what do we learn? Jesus explains that good deeds are only righteous when we're sincere in our devotion to God, rather than seeking other people's approval. He teaches us how to pray, and how to have a one-on-one communicate with him and bring up all the things we need and give thanks for all the things we have. And then finally he tells us excessive worry, particularly over things like money, interfere with our faith. If you would like me to pray for you, you can just leave your name. But I'm happy to pray with you. I'm happy to pray with anyone who watches these videos. There is encouragement in prayer, and I do believe God answers prayers. So keep up the positive, guys. And I will see you for Matthew chapter 7. We were reading Matthew, praying with simplicity, or as some of you may know it, the Lord's Prayer. And if you'll indulge me, I'm gonna pray with you guys. If you know it, follow along, and we start with Our Father who is in heaven. Holy is your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. And forgive me of my sin, as we forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and forever. And we all say amen, which means we agree. And that is keeping up the positive, my friends.